This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Well, I'll tell you what, who wasn't watching Seven, mate, last night to see the Matildas get over the line
How
against
good.
Canada?
Hang on, wait. Nathan?
No, yeah. I'm watching, but I want to know: is this the last free-to-air game, and now it's behind a paid paywall?
No, we'll be able
No?
to see Australia play.
Okay,
but
great.
a
Not
lot
the
of those
other-
other
not the other
games,
games.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's a bit disappointing, isn't it?
Well, I understand it, and
too.
then and
I wouldn't
that's
watch
money going into that sport, so it's sort of but yeah, it is disappointing if you're not signed up
follow-
to these services.
Yeah, Optus Sport, I think it might be that you need to be able to pay for and watch the rest of the games. But Australia were fantastic, and you saw them really attack last night, which was great. And I think a lot of times under these circumstances where it's a must-win, you can be super nervous, obviously.
Yeah.
And you don't want to make any mistakes early. The hardest part, I think, to do when you're in those circumstances is come out and just throw punches from the moment the bell rings. And that's exactly what Australia did. And we saw that Mary Fowler back into the team made a big difference.
How good. I love her. I love her. She's
Rasso
so good.
on the wing, who scored
Hayley
the first
Rasso.
two opening games. But
Amazing.
you can see that her running was great. And we used the long ball down the left-hand side. It looked like we had a speed advantage. We were able to whip the ball in and score. It was all
I tell you
great
what,
news.
The atmosphere from that crowd for the
It's
entire
nearly
game
30,000 people.
is unbelievable to watch.
Yeah, it was great.
If you were to go back 15 years and show that footage, minds would be blown that's how far women's sport has come to pack stadiums.
Yeah, and they could have got
It's
more if they were
brilliant.
playing at a
Of
bigger
course they
ground.
could
Like
have.
it's actually amazing.
Yeah.
My mum was there.
Yeah,
So
did
she
you have a
had
good
a great time, and they were really absolutely pumped by the game. Before I spoke to her before she was going to the game, she said, "Yeah, we're all going along. Samantha's playing, and blah blah blah." And I
Samantha's
said, "Well,
not
she'll come
playing.
off the bench, Mum. You know
Yeah,
that she's going
if
to
at
be
all.
playing."
Yeah, exactly.
But I didn't suspect that they would be. Once they got to 2-0 up, then you go, "Well, she's not playing now."
No, that's right.
Yeah.
You're not going to risk that.
I
Let
don't
alone
think she was
four.
playing anyway.
They said she was playing. Definitely
No,
going
I
to
know
play.
what they said.
Oh, the coach.
No, that's
he-
great. I don't know anything about sport. Just let me have this. And
She
No,
was
I think-
definitely playing.
I think if they
Oh,
were
yeah. If they
2-1
were under
down, they
pressure.
would have. They would have thrown her on there. But it was good that they didn't have to.
Well,
Like,
the
it's better-
coach is pretty happy with it. It buys them more time.
Yeah,
I
that's
was informed that she's available but for limited minutes, and we agreed together to say if we can win us a week for her to not risk her to re-injure herself, we're going to try to protect her and try to win without her.
So she's a prepaid phone plan.
Yeah. If you need
Limited
it, it's right
minutes.
there.
Yeah.
It's right there. And if we get in front, which they did 4-0, then
I
just gives them
know.
a week, which hopefully that means she's really cherry ripe.
Yeah.
With
It
great
was
news for
such a good
Australia
win.
moving forward.
Canada, they were a great opponent. They're the Olympic champions. Like, they're not some also ran. To them, it's a big shock they haven't made it through to the next round.
We made them look second rate.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really good.
Fantastic. We're going to catch up with Gilly later on to talk about the cricket, but there's one thing that's stirring in the AFL, and that's the head concussion rule. And Aaliyah, who plays for Port Adelaide on the weekend, looked like he was out like a light. Now, the medical staff and the doctors walked him off the field. At that stage, he was like talking like nothing had happened. I've seen the vision over and over again. He's on the bench. He's saying, no, I got hit on the side of the jaw. He's all good. He was talking freely to the doctors and the physios around, and they elected to allow him to get back on the field.
So they didn't put him through the concussion protocols at that time. Is that right?
That's right.
Because
Natalie.
they're saying it's not warranted because it was a glancing blow to the side of his jaw. When everybody who saw it went, hang on a second.
Optics can be different to what actually happens. That aside, it is a massive mistake. Now, the AFL are going to fine them heavily here because they want to make sure that everybody goes through those protocols.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if Jeremy McGovern's missed 2 weeks of footy,
that's right.
and his thing was a kick and a boot that got him in the side of the head. He was fine at the time, and he was fine coming on and playing the rest of the game. After that, he suffered from... but he was still put through those protocols.
Yeah. That's right.
And for the sake of litigation, you've got to go, right, have we done everything possible to make sure that this human being is okay and fit and available to be able to get on the field?
Even if they say that they are, that's the nature of a head injury is that they cannot be aware of it.
Yeah.
So they're saying there needs to be an independent doctor at every one of those games.
Doctor.
What song is that again?
Doctor.
Yeah. Who's the singer?
Ray? Was that?
Yeah.
No, who's that?
Right.
Ray.
Ray.
Yeah, it is right.
Yeah, you did do it. I always think when there's a mistake, they always go, we've got to change the but the protocol's
It's
already there.
there.
He should have done that. He should have.
Yeah.
And even if there's an independent doctor there,
Doctor.
might not do something, whatever
Yeah,
that may
that's
be
right.
on the particular day.
And the guy that ran into him, but he was listed as having a migraine.
Yeah,
And it's like,
was
no,
it Lockie Jones? I think it might have been.
It's like it's a head clash. It's not. He hasn't suddenly developed a migraine,
Both players aren't playing this week, so there
and
you
nor
go.
should they
Nor
be.
should
Look
they.
after their brains, otherwise this is what you end up with.
Exactly. It is a treat to have Gilly in the studios to talk about the cricket last night, and we'll get into all the stuff that he's been doing over in Europe, because he did a bit of a tour over there with the family.
Didn't he just?
They survived, which is good news, without killing each other, probably, in a tight setting. That's always my issue.
That's
when
more
I
about
think
your
that
family than
it
his, I think.
probably is, yeah, okay.
No. So good morning.
Good morning, Gilly.
Yeah, but those family experiences, you have your highs and your lows.
Yeah, you do.
Fortunately, more highs.
I'll come back to that, but the cricket last night, geez, I was all settled in. I thought we're on our way here with Steve Smith and particularly Alex Carey at the helm then. Looked like we're narrowing the bridge.
Yep.
And we're going to win this game, Gilly. And then it all went to
Yeah.
hell.
It went pear-shaped, yes.
Brown hell.
Yeah.
It did. The rain came in.
Yeah.
Well, the previous night, Warner
Yeah.
and Kawhi just set it up, didn't they?
Yes.
None for 130 odd, and
Yeah.
all the momentum, and then that lose half a day to rain there. So and then they started to set it up. Okay, but everyone knows it was watching, and I don't expect that all the non-cricketing types will know exactly what I'm referring to here, but they changed the ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Usman
I read
Khawaja
about this. Is it that
popped the
important?
bouncer,
Yes,
hit him
yes.
in the helmet,
Yeah.
and they checked he was all right.
Yeah.
And then they looked at the ball, and it had either taken a chunk out from hitting the
helmet.
earpiece on the helmet or something. But anyway, they changed it. So the ball at that time was about 32 overs old, and it gets its natural wear and tear, and it was doing nothing.
Sorry, this is the first time I've ever heard about the ball situation.
Yeah.
So
They-
so you'll know the age of a ball is
Oh,
32.
well, you-
or-
well, that- yeah, that's-
Well,
you know.
the innings is
so then
progressing.
when the bowl gets changed, it should be something of the same age.
And they have a case,
I
don't
never
they?
knew
Of
that.
balls.
And there's a dozen balls.
Yes,
and
and
they're all
different aged balls.
dates.
So if
This
you're
is so
at training, right? If you're at
so
training,
interesting.
often the umpires might come to training,
Yes.
and throw you a couple of. Don't throw them to me. They don't need me bowling them.
Yeah.
They won't. They'll lose them. But they'd give it to the bowlers, and they'll get them to bowl, and they'll record how many overs of that ball gets bowled.
Like
And then
wearing
they'll
in a
go
pair
and-
of shoes.
Yeah, and then they'll go and put that away in
Go,
the
that's
little
a 15
ball
over
carry
ball.
bag. That's a
Yeah.
spare ball from
Yeah.
now on. And they know.
And there is the ball briefcase. Is it
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
deal or no deal briefcase?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it is.
Similar,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they're all
Got a
like
handcuff
numbered.
on it. It's got everything.
A girl in a black dress.
Gilly, as we know,
Markle.
with
So
that
they
wear
changed
and-
the ball.
Yeah, so wear and tear on one side makes it move.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that the first ball was doing nothing.
Yep.
The wicket was flat.
Yeah.
We're none for 140, rolling towards a big victory. And this next ball comes out, and it might as well have been fresh out of a packet.
Yeah. So it was like a new ball,
brand
yeah.
new. It was dark.
Which
it had
means
the
it moves
writing on
faster,
If the,
Nathan.
if the gold
I
imprint
saw.
embossed on the
Yeah.
side is still on there,
Then it's
you
a
can
new
tell
ball.
that is
Yeah.
way younger
Certainly
than the
not a
ball.
32
Why do you reckon they
over ball.
allowed that to happen then, picking a ball that's not similar to the one that they just
Yeah.
used?
No, I
And
can
these are
only
international
assume-
umpires.
Yeah, and the England players have nothing to do with this.
No.
The umpires make that selection. I can only assume there wasn't one in there of similar age to a 30-odd over
Yep.
ball.
And that's
maybe,
the best they could find.
Okay.
Maybe
So-
the rest were even fresher.
At the start of the Ashes, do you guys use a brand new ball out of the packet?
Yep.
Okay.
And then
Every
it
game,
changes.
though.
And then so every
innings.
time you
Every
play
innings.
cricket,
Yep.
anytime it's a new ball.
Yep.
Every innings.
Yeah, right.
Every innings.
Every inning.
And then if you bowl for
after
long enough,
80
yeah.
overs,
Yes.
if the team's still batting, the bowling team can get the option to take another new one.
yeah. Did you ever
And
have?
if you get the choice to pick a third new ball,
Yes.
you might as well walk off.
Yeah,
and
that's
give
right.
up,
You've been
'cause
bowling
you're
for too
getting
long.
smashed.
have you ever had experience with the worst ball? Have you had like faced a terrible ball?
Yeah, there's.
Oh, Wazim Akram just getting the chunks out of the side when he's bowling at you, Gilly, and they're just going from right to left by
there's
about
a period
2
of
metres.
time where ball tampering, but I don't think as Australians we can
Yeah,
cast
it's
aspersions
still
on
too
Oh, but
ourselves.
back then you'll
Whereas
find
5
just
years,
pull a drill
7
out in
years.
front of the cameras and just drill into it. No one really cared back
that'll
then.
be I did play in a game once against a certain Pakistan player
Yes.
who remained nameless.
Oh, well, you can name him. I wouldn't know him.
Who happened at the Wacker. He actually decided to chew on the ball. He started to gnaw into it.
He was nibbling
with
it.
his
I
teeth.
thought it was
So
the
messing
pink
up
lady.
the surface or the
more the Granny
stitches?
Smith, I think. But,
Yeah. So that's to
yeah.
get into the stitches, or
I don't know what he was trying to do. He got
or was
copped
just
a fine.
hungry?
Copped a fine for it. But,
Have you ever gnawed on a ball?
look deep into my eyes as you said.
We even lost eye contact. Let's see who blinks first.
Gilly,
So that was a situation.
Yeah.
well, should we be disappointed in the like we lost 4 for 11 in that middle
Yeah.
part,
Yeah.
and it looked like we were going on brilliantly, and there was a collapse, and it has been. I guess both teams can say that that's happened in periods of the game. Were we the better team? Because it seems like England played the better cricket in Test cricket and more entertaining cricket. And if you're a supporter of the English team, they should have won in
Manchester.
At Manchester.
Fourth test, yep.
They should have, could have, would have. I understand that kind of scenario. But if you're a supporter of one team, you'd go, our team was really exciting to play the whole way through, even though we drew.
I've never heard, observed so much discussion around a test series.
It's amazing,
Yes,
isn't it?
by people who love it and people who aren't even interested.
Nathan has not.
I
Like
even-
what you said. You
Mate,
heard about the ball.
I heard
but
about it.
you've
I
got no-
googled Bazball the other week
Yeah.
because I didn't know what you're talking about.
There's no doubt
yeah.
what England have done has completely revolutionised the way Test cricket is looked at for this period. Whether it's maintained, if it stays
Yeah.
forever, that remains to be seen. If they're doing this in 10 years' time and they're winning, they'll go down as one of the greatest cricket teams, but one of the teams that revolutionised the game, like the West Indies in the 80s with
Yeah,
four
sure.
fast bowlers, with body line to
But you've got to have the manpower to do the right players to do that.
They
don't
have
you?
entertained,
Yeah.
there's no doubt. And
Yeah.
they've played at least, they've dominated at least 50% of that
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
And yet
they
we've
might
still got
feel,
the
but-
Ashes,
But
so-
Australia did enough to win those first two.
Yeah.
So I think 2-2's probably about right.
Hollow feeling, though?
Hey.
Can I just ask you that one?
Sorry?
Hollow feeling. You've been in this situation. Is it more of a hollow feeling that you haven't won it?
I haven't been in that situation.
you won it
We either
outright?
Won them or lost,
Lost
them.
them.
We didn't lose many, fortunately, because we had a bunch of superstars
Yeah.
there, but we have Warner McGrath, simple
Yeah.
as that. But look, Australia will be frustrated. I think, I don't want to go to the fine-tooth comb, but there's a few things in that last test that did surprise me. I thought bowling first was a bit of a funny one, given
When he
4
finally
years
won
ago.
the toss.
Yeah.
Finally won it.
But, no, I think Pat Cummins comes away, he can hold his head high the way he led the team. Whether tactically there's some question marks, certainly in Manchester, but I think he carried the team well under siege because they were under fire over there on the back of what happened at Lord's. So I was pretty proud of the way they handled themselves, the Australian team. I think they can take a lot away from it in that regard, but they've got some things to think about selection-wise, and then also tactically they need to work out what they want to do. Having learnt what Bazball's all
Yeah.
about, do they want to go that way? Are the other teams going to go that way? Or do they want to keep going that slightly more traditional conservative route?
I'm going to try and just bring up a cricketer's name now with that massacre. Manus Labuschagne? Is it-
Labuschagne.
I
Labuschagne.
don't know. Manus. Anyway, did you see that footage of him having a go at that guy in the stands?
Yes.
Because he's
Yeah.
going, boring, boring, boring. What is that like? Because
Horrible.
there is, yeah, like.
You just want to
Well,
grab
no,
him.
I thought
nobody
good on
ever
ya.
accused you of being
Absolutely
boring, though.
smash 'em.
Yeah.
So what is the policy with having a go back at the fans? Because I could not. I mean, that's human nature. You're you're yelling boring in my face as I walk past you. Are you insane? We're humans.
Yeah, that was like the Lord's situation.
Yes.
Oh, that was
when it was
crazy.
the members, which is
Through the long room.
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
this is,
Outrageous.
the bastion, this is the place, the safe haven of all good-spirited
Yes.
cricket lovers. And they described it as these blokes in blazers with red wine-marked
Yeah.
lips spitting in our face.
Yeah, that was extraordinary.
Because you walk out there on a good day and you're going out to bat and they go, oh, good luck, but not too much.
Yes,
And-
yeah.
Oh, that's
it's all
nice.
very
Soon.
pip,
It's
That's a
like
nice
Yeah.
sledge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then on
Yeah,
the
pocket
way
watch.
off.
And then they turn.
Yeah,
they really
So
did
just
turn.
quickly before we get to the traffic, the incident that they're referring to, of
Yep.
course, was the run out,
Stumping.
the stumping, whatever you want. Was it wrong or not? Bec-
Yeah. No.
You're already
So
correct.
100% you wouldn't have had any qualms about doing that, and you were
Not at all.
renowned as a very fair player.
Yeah, no, that's they knew that Johnny Bairstow's a guy that sort of drifts out of his
Yes.
crease. There's an element of batting that you learn when you very first start. Stay in your crease, respect your crease
Until the
ball's
umpire says
dead,
over.
until you know
Yeah,
it. So
yeah.
clearly Johnny thought that it was dead, but it wasn't. And
Yeah.
the umpires confirmed on that. And
So
gone.
no qualms at all.
No,
No.
particularly given that Johnny was trying it to Marnus in the
Well, this
in the
is the
innings
thing,
prior.
right? So what
Yeah,
are they
yeah,
whinging
yeah.
about?
Yeah. And the other things are those couple of drop catches that are deemed drop catches,
Yes.
like even the one last
Yeah.
night, Mitchell Stark. The rules state, they're there. The rules
Yeah.
are in plain
Yeah.
English.
And I mean,
there.
that's the umpire's call. Yeah.
And again, never more a series where, like you said, Shaun, if you support one team, you're going to
Yeah.
see it through those
Yeah.
That
eyes.
lens, yeah, for sure.
and not the lens of the opposition, and
Yeah.
vice versa. There were so many flashpoints in that
Yeah.
series that that were like that. But at the end of the day, I think 2-all's pretty reflective
And the
and
Ashes are
possibly
still
even a little
ours.
bit fortunate for the Aussies.
Adam Gilchrist in the house, and he's been doing what everybody else is doing. If your Instagram feeds
Yes,
go
now-
by, you had a European vacay, Gilly.
Yes,
the whole
we
family
did.
too.
Us and all of Perth, or half Perth at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah,
But,
I know.
I tell you, it was quite funny flying back. It culminated, I don't want to cut the discussion short and go straight to the end, but it culminated, we flew home from Rome
Yes.
back to Perth.
Yes.
And at check-in in Rome, at the Qantas check-in, it was not dissimilar to standing up Rockaby Road in the bread shop.
Right,
There was about
okay.
7
All the same people.
Subi families all lined up. We weren't travelling together. We all walked and went, right, you're here. Oh, you're here. Right, yeah, okay. But,
So that was you got on that direct flight then, yeah.
which was handy. But no, magic time, unbelievable.
That's very funny.
we had a-
And is the bakery you're talking about, would that be Jean-Claude's?
Yes.
The line finishes.
I mean-
line finishes just out here in front of the
I know.
theatre sometimes.
Do they just close down in July because all their customers
Everyone's
go to
gone.
Europe?
Yeah, no, it was amazing time.
Yeah.
A little bit of London. We spoke. I spoke with you guys before.
Yes,
I
before.
went-
Yes.
We were going to Leeds for
Yes.
one day of cricket.
Yep.
Yep.
Which we didn't really factor into the equation. We went up there, took the boys up, and
Was that the day it
the
rained?
big Mitchie Marsh got a brilliant 100.
the bison went
So that
nuts.
was crazy.
Yeah.
But so a little bit of London, and then we were very fortunate to go into Greece and Italy.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Greece and did a bit differently.
Greece was different. We're on a little catamaran and just skipped
Yeah.
around it. And you say, I went to the Greek islands.
Okay,
and goes, oh,
J-Lo.
yeah. And they, no, well, it sounds like
It's amazing.
No, we were on the small boat that was getting wiped out just in the wake of the super yachts
Yeah,
as they
right.
went past.
So it was just your family, or were you on there with other people?
No, just our family on
Oh,
our little
nice.
one. And we were in tandem with some really good family friends who were on
Nice.
their own one sort of next to us, really. And
Yeah,
so-
cute.
yeah.
So you're on a
around.
catamaran, right? You know those big super yachts that you would have seen?
Yeah.
Do you know those super yachts have companion yachts that hold all their toys?
Yeah. No,
Is
they,
that-
they,
is that
Oh,
not
yeah,
bro-
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
So
They-
not
they-
only
they-
they
jet
don't
stuff.
have companion yachts that hold the. It's like the back of the super yacht folds down. It's
Yes.
like it's giving birth.
Yeah.
And the little charter boat, the
Like
little
the tender.
comes out.
That's
the back.
bigger than your
That's
boat.
bigger than ours, and then all the toys come out. And
Yeah.
So
that's
do you reckon
so
these
fun
other?
to
Do you
watch.
reckon these other boats of people are looking down at you like you guys are sitting on the side of the road with the cup asking
Yes.
for change?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Nathan, you should see it. You go to some of these islands, and the entire harbour is full of
That's
these
amazing.
magnificent things that you see on below deck.
God,
It's
there's
those
some-
wall to wall.
There's some people in the world that are doing quite well,
Yes,
aren't they?
there
Oh,
is.
absolutely. That's what you
And they're all in
realise.
the Greek
There's
islands at the
money
moment.
out there.
Gilly, would you say the water is, because I reckon the best water around is Rotto-esque. So where would you, is it like that going around
What do you
those
mean?
islands? Because Rotto
The
is
clarity of it
clear,
and-
Okay.
there's reef, it's
It's
like a
deep
postcard.
blue.
It was
isn't it?
stunning, beautiful.
Yeah.
We were fortunate to go down to southern Italy, Sorrento, down the coast down there. Again,
Oh, yeah.
water beautiful.
Oh, Positano,
It
your
is
Capri dreams.
stunning. There's no doubt about it, particularly the Greek islands that we were around. But I did stop and think often, I'm not seeing anything that we don't
No.
have at home.
Seriously,
Yeah.
go to
Not
Esperance.
in a
Sands
depressed way.
water.
I'm going, wow, this is amazing to
Yeah.
experience it all.
Yeah.
But, geez, we're
You're right.
fortunate.
You used to be able to
we-
get a Greek salad from Hungry Jack's.
Yeah.
So it's all here.
Yeah.
Getting off the boat,
It's really
Don't
just
need to
a
eat another
salad
Greek
with
salad
cheese.
for about a year. Hammered the Greek salad.
getting off the boat and then going to a restaurant for dinner. Is that what you did? And is it all seafood? Is the next question.
No, it's not all seafood. No.
You get some dim sum.
They love lamb.
Very good gyros.
Yeah, exactly.
Do a kebab over there, but yeah, it was small villages we were in, small islands,
Yeah.
so not the big party ones.
Yeah, you
much
weren't at
to our
Mykonos.
kids' disappointment.
Yeah.
But we found enough entertainment and sort of nightlife if that's what you're after.
Well,
but
I hear when you're sailing the islands, as you celebrities do, suddenly it's just like a magnet. Other celebrities are pulled together with other celebrities. Did you align with any other celebrities?
no.
That's a lie.
Tell everyone.
Oh no, we bumped into some popular people, but I wouldn't say they're celebrities.
Yeah, they are. They've got a
They are.
TV show starting
They
shortly.
have.
Yeah.
They are the inspired unemployed lads.
They spotted you.
Crazy. No, well, the day before, my son Harry said he was looking at his Instagram. He goes, Dad, they inspired unemployed boys. They're where we were yesterday on this island called Poros, which is
Yeah,
stunning.
right.
And we had a
So
chuckle
you're on the
about,
same trail.
Yeah, and then the next, and it's a bit like that actually.
Yes.
These sort of catamarans, you do sort of cross paths with
Yeah, okay.
The
Oh,
same
there's that
people again
boat.
and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Often one of the flags on the top of the boat will have the country of origin of the boat, where the skipper is from, and then
Where the
whoever's
guests are
on there,
from.
the guests are from.
Oh, so you see the Aussie flag
There was
flag.
one that had the boxing kangaroos, so we always sort of knew the Aussies were there. And in fact, I had to go and ask them for petrol for our tender. I had a true story. On the last morning, I had to swim over there because our little spare petrol tank ran out, and I went over there, and the captain...
Did you knock?
Oh, well, I swam up the side, and I could see their skipper, a really lovely bloke, sitting there with his back to me going, Mick, no, mate. It was early in the morning, and he was meditating.
Oh, no.
And he sort of snapped out of his meditation, looked around, and had this horrified look on his face. Was like, well, that's his day rooted.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine. You can ask him what do you need, and then just finish it with namaste, and that'll be fine.
No, I got the petrol. But, bumped into those blokes the next day, Jack
So what
and
was their
Falcon and all his
reaction
crew.
when they saw you? They must have lost their minds.
Oh, don't worry, we did too. My boys and I and Annie, our daughter, everyone loves those blokes. They're hilarious. They're mad as cut snakes. But I introduced them to the Prairie Fire, which was good, and that's their new drink of choice.
What's the Prairie Fire?
Is that the one to keep away COVID?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it was tequila.
A shot of tequila and 3 drops of Tabasco.
Yeah.
No.
Every day.
Every day.
Multiple times. Particularly in the Greek islands.
I mean, it's better than ouzo, so we'll take it.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Do you start the day off with the Prairie Fire? Is that
We tend to do it later in the day, Haven't had it yet.
He starts the day with a burning crumpet.
You don't want to know what that is.
You show me the burning crumpet.
Oh, Gilly.
Is that right? Have I missed? Okay.
Well,
Oh, it's an interesting spread, I can tell you that.
welcome home, Gilly. We're glad you're
Back on the
back.
cricket ball topic again.
Nibble.
Thank you so much for coming in this morning,
pleasure.
mate. It's always good to see you. You're welcome here anytime.
Thank you.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.